We're bigger. We have more people. We have all the professional sports teams. We have better beaches. We have better barbecue. We have better basketball. We have better football. Hey, let's go ahead and huddle up. You can come in here, Gamecock Nation. Come on, huddle up, huddle up.
You don't want none! You don't want none!
Break. What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It is your boy, Russ, the Tar Heel, and I am coming at you right now with an immediate reaction to the results of the North Carolina-South Carolina game. And with a real Carolina, please stand up. It's going to be them boys in Carolina blue. Forgive my voice. It was all that yelling I was doing as the boys took care of business and laid the smackdown. The defensive ends were nom, just all over the stinking place, all over Spencer Rattler, just all in his grill all day. And that, my friends, is the story of this football game. Yes, Drake May had 2 touchdown passes. Yes, Drake May also threw 2 interceptions. But that defense was stinking swarming. And if we're going to be realistic with each other, North Carolina should have won that football game by way more points than they did. Hey, you should consider yourselves lucky that you only lost by 14. North Carolina is a superior offensive team, a superior defensive team, a superior special teams team, a superior head coach team. And look, I got respect for Shane Beamer, but you're no Mack Brown, bro. The South Carolina Gamecocks are no North Carolina, period. And I've been trying to tell all you knuckleheads that as you are running your stinking mouth about the SEC, the SEC, the SEC. Why don't you stop tugging on Georgia and Alabama's coattails, asking if you can come to the party? That's when people think of SEC, that's all they think about. Everybody else, bro, we'll go to your stadium. It's not scary. Nobody cares, including you, South Carolina. And that's why you got that stinking ass handed to you today. It is what it is. That's exactly what I told you was going to happen. How about them heels? Tar Heel Nation, stand up. 36, 20, and 4. Remember when I told one of you boys, all you had to do is win 15 in a row and then you'd finally be tied? Well, guess what? Add another year onto that because it's 16. You put that in your pipe and smoke it. I'm just kidding, man. I'm just having a little bit of fun. So if you're sensitive and you want to go back down south, you want to go back over the border. Now that we've obviously established that Charlotte belongs to us, you came to our house and then we kicked you out of our house, and you can go back down to Columbia and play your little SEC football. Nobody cares, bro. How about them heels? Big time, son. Big time. Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit of trash. You daggone right I'm going to talk a little bit of trash. All these South Carolina fans acting like there's some football school or something like that. Nobody cares about that, dude. Nobody cares about that. So, my man Drake May finishes 24 for 32, 269 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And he had a really good first half. And then there were a couple of plays, man, that he just didn't make good passes. There were some inerrant throws, and which even makes this victory even more impressive, considering that Drake May was without his top 2 receivers in Tez Walker, who free Tez. NCAA needs to go ahead and fix this thing. I can't believe that my man actually had to sit out a football game because of your incompetence. I apologize. Like I said, this isn't an immediate reaction, okay? So there's going to be a little bit of emotions involved, if you will. And then Nate McCullum was unable to play because of a lower groin injury. He had a groin injury. Same with Will Hardy. So Carolina was without a couple of stinking studs, man. And I'm not going to lie, maybe a little nervous going into the football game. But like I said before, that wide receiver room has enough talent, has enough playmakers that they can make things happen without those guys. And what do you know? Drake May ends up making it happen without those guys. 31-17 without your two top wide receivers, man. Without your two top wide receivers, Drake May and the boys get it done. British Brooks had over 100 yards rushing on the day. 15 carries, 103 yards. Just a big, big spot, man. Congratulations to British Brooks, who suffered just a really bad knee injury. 2 years ago, year and a half, 2 years ago. Had to sit out last year, and he comes back and just looks great, man. Tip your cap to British Brooks. Marion Hampton had a couple of touchdowns. Kobe Paysor had a big game. Remember we were talking about receivers that Drake needed to look for? Kobe Paysor was going to be one. In the absence of Josh Downs and Antoine Green last year, Kobe Paysor came up big, and he did the same thing tonight. 7 receptions, 66 yards, and he had that huge touchdown catch in the second quarter with 2:50 remaining to put the Heels back up 17-14 and take all that momentum back from South Carolina. And the Heels left a bunch of points on the board, man. A bunch of points on the board. There was one time, I think, between the first and the second quarter, where Carolina was inside South Carolina's 30, 2 separate occasions, they only got 3 points out. And it wasn't because South Carolina's defense was, doing anything special. North Carolina was shooting themselves in the foot with penalties and some silly things, and they were still able to go into halftime with the lead 17-14. They get the ball back, and then Shane Beamer, does his trickery. They kick an onside kick and recover it. And this was a really big spot for the North Carolina defense. The North Carolina defense, after coming out thinking that their team was going to get the ball, they're going to sit over there on the bench, maybe do a little bit more game planning. They are immediately forced on the field, and guess what they do? They force a turnover on downs and give the football right back to the Tar Heels. Man, I am telling you, I was extremely impressed with this defense. And South Carolina's offense is, it's not very impressive. Like I said, yeah, Spencer Rattler threw for 359 yards. He had to. And he was also sacked 9 times. He had 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I guess you can say he had a good football game. 359. I give him that. That's a good football game. But he couldn't do anything with it. And he was under constant duress. 353 yards. 30 for 39, 353 yards. He was under constant duress. But one of the things that was real evident from the beginning is that their offensive line could not block our defensive line. Kamen Rucker, Bo Atkinson, Des Evans, Powers said those boys were feasting. They were all in Rattler's lap the whole game. It didn't matter if they brung extra or not. They were getting pressure. And that was just fantastic to see. And not only that, South Carolina could not run the football. Their leading rusher had 12 carries for 23 yards, 1 touchdown to Kerryon Joyner. We'll take that all stinking day, bro. The defense impressed me. It really did. Now, obviously, you got to take it with a grain of salt because, like I said, Spencer Rattler, okay quarterback. Yeah, Juice was out later. And they were kind of limited in the options that they could go with. But, North Carolina's defense took a drastic step forward. They held the South Carolina Gamecocks to 17 points for the game. 17 points for the game. And a couple of times the North Carolina offense tried to hand South Carolina some points by giving them good field possession. And the defense stepped up. You could almost say that the defense won that football game. How many times have we been able to say that in the past 5 years? So, outstanding victory by the North Carolina Tar Heels. And congratulations, Gene Chizik, for taking those blows on the chin from Mack, telling you that you need to get these boys fired up. Hey, them boys are fired up, and they were flying around the football all game long. It was beautiful to see. Oh, it was beautiful to see. That defense held them to 351 yards of total offense. And we already said that Spencer Rattler threw for 353. So how many rushing yards do you think they had? Yeah, exactly. That defense was on fire. Carolina came into that game 2.5-point favorites. They won by 14. They're the better football team, clearly. The better football team. And I told you guys from the beginning that 2023 was going to be special, especially if we got finished with this game. Now, there is a ton of football left to be played. Next week, we got the Bumpkins from Boone coming in from App State. We'll get into that a little bit later. But what a victory. What a victory, Tar Heel Nation. We sent all the Gamecocks fans that came up there to North Carolina and spent their hard-earned money and just wanted to enrich our economy. Hey, thank you, Gamecock Nation. Thank you for all the beers and all the bratwursts and all the popcorn and all the merchandise and all the things that you came up to Charlotte and spent your money. Thank you. And you got to come up there and see. You got to see Big Brother give you a little taste of your medicine, right? Let you know exactly where you stand, right? How's that feel? You like that? I like it. It feels real good. So, like I said, obviously all in good fun, man. But hey, we need to play that rivalry more often. We do. That's a great rivalry. It really is. It's great for college football. It's great for North Carolina. It's great for South Carolina. It was great to have College Game Day there. How cool was it, Tar Heel Nation, to see Lee Corso put on the Ramesses mascot, bro, and pick the heels. Everybody picked the heels, of course, except Darius Rucker, who also picked Duke to beat Clemson. I mean, what kind of homer are you, bro? We're trying to be real here. And but when Lee put on that Tar Heel, when he put on stinking Ramesses, bro, I mean, it was like I was dreaming. Because I've been watching College Game Day for who knows how stinking long. And, you know, it's one of those things where you dream. You just dream about those things. And sure enough, Lee Corso knew exactly what we all knew. Probably exactly what the South Carolina fans knew. You know, they knew that they're inferior. You're just inferior. It's an inferior school, inferior athletic program. It's just inferior, man. And it's okay. It's okay. You're still number 2 in South Carolina. So, 31-17, baby. How about them Tar Heels? ACC, ACC, ACC. 36-20-4. You guys got a long way to catch up to Big Brother, bro. But the real Carolina stood up tonight. We'll catch you on the next one, Tar Heel Nation.